This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Curaleaf, one of the nation's top multi-state cannabis operators with 49 local dispensaries, 14 cultivation sites, and 13 processing facilities, serving up more than 165,000 registered medical marijuana patients. Check them out over at curaleaf.com, spelled Curaleaf. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Wednesday, October 30th, 2019, and you're tuned in to episode 829 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Kyle Yeager has our top story today with a detailed look at the news that broke yesterday with the U.S. Department of Agriculture releasing a set of draft regulations for how industrial hemp can be grown and processed. The interim rules are set to be published in the Federal Register tomorrow, after which time the government will hold a 60-day public comment period before the rules are made final. There are many important items to note here, including language for how industrial hemp will be measured for THC and a provision requiring that hemp testing over 0.3% THC be destroyed by federal agents. This one is too big and important not to read in full yourself, so I will direct you over to Kyle's story on Marijuana Moment for more, including the actual USDA rules themselves, which are embedded in Kyle's piece. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com. Multi-state cannabis operator MedMen just announced that it is forming a new board of directors with the majority of members to be chosen by investment firm Gotham Green Partners, which is a major funder of MedMen with an ongoing credit deal worth $250 million. This news is just getting out and will likely be more thoroughly analyzed in the days to come, but Deb Borchardt over at Green Market Report has a good breakdown of how things between MedMen and Gotham Green Partners have evolved to their current state. Give this one a read as well. Our final top story today is a headline out of Iowa where State Attorney General Tom Miller has been educating his fellow state officials about why banning vaporizer products in the face of the current vape health scare is not a good public health policy. Attorney General Miller wrote a letter earlier this month to federal officials stressing that point and has said to journalists that he's afraid that any kind of ban would just drive people to smoke cigarettes and illicit market vaporizers. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds decided late last week to forego any kind of ban in the state after raising the possibility just a few days earlier, and I'm guessing Attorney General Miller had something to do with it. It's good to see common sense and evidence-based thinking play out in politics. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Curaleaf, one of the nation's top multi-state cannabis operators with 49 local dispensaries, 14 cultivation sites, and 13 processing facilities, serving up more than 165,000 registered medical marijuana patients. But Curaleaf is more than just one of the country's top providers of legal marijuana products. It's also a big supporter of important causes and organizations like the Veterans Cannabis Project, which works to expand the unrestricted access to medical marijuana by military veteran patients. Curaleaf is helping to raise awareness of and funds for the Veterans Cannabis Project through special in-store displays found in select Curaleaf shops. Swing over to vetscp.org to learn more about the Veterans Cannabis Project and curaleaf.com to learn more about all the ways that Curaleaf is helping to make the legal marijuana experience better. That's curaleaf.com with Curaleaf spelled Curaleaf. All right, time for the Blitz. Los Angeles City Council President Herb Wesson wrote a letter earlier this week to the city's Department of Cannabis Regulation, urging it to suspend the awarding of legal marijuana business licenses and to conduct an independent audit of the process of giving out licenses because some people were able to gain early access to the application system. Department of Cannabis Regulation Executive Director Kat Packer responded by pointing out that just 2 people had inadvertently been given early access due to a user error in resetting passwords, and that those 2 people had been pushed back in line so they don't actually end up with any kind of gained advantage. Lots of complexity here worthy of a full read. Deb Borchardt is back with another headline, this time with news that marijuana company DionyMed Brands is filing for bankruptcy after failing to come to terms with a creditor demanding payment. In its bankruptcy filing, the company said it is seeking a sale of its assets, and its 4 founding officers will be stepping down effective upon the appointment of the bankruptcy receiver. Best of luck to everyone involved with that in your transition. Former Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter was just hired by multi-state cannabis operator Greenleaf Medical New Jersey to handle its public outreach and community relations. Mr. Nutter was serving as the City of Brotherly Love's mayor back in 2014 when he signed a decriminalization bill into law. David Downs at Leafly has a great story that you should read in full about the new bill in California that will allow for the donation of marijuana from cultivators to nonprofit organizations that then give it away for free to patients of low economic means. We've touched on this storyline a number of times over the last couple of years as one of the unintended consequences of the passage of California's Proposition 64, which made adult use legal, is that it made such nonprofit organizations giving away marijuana illegal. A new bill was just passed and signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom to fix that. This is something we need everywhere, so do the world a good turn and read David's story. Marijuana Business Daily details how the Canadian province of Saskatchewan is changing the way its legal cannabis market is structured to move away from a tightly controlled top-down model with limited licensing and more in the direction of just letting the market decide how many dispensaries should be open. Saskatchewan had initially set a limit of just 51 dispensaries for the entire province, which led to stagnant sales. The new expanded licensing scheme will be implemented starting in the spring. We have another Marijuana Business Daily story, this time with a chart from Eli McVeigh showing how the state of Illinois will stand in terms of how many adult use marijuana dispensaries will be licensed per 100,000 residents. The chart puts Illinois up against states like Oregon with 15.7 dispensaries per 100,000 residents, as well as Colorado with 10, Washington State with 6.3, and California at 1.5, the same level that Illinois will be at the end of next year. By the time that Illinois' adult use system as designed is fully implemented, it will have 3.9 dispensaries per 100,000 residents. Our final story today is a piece up in Canada looking at how one particular type of marijuana-infused drinks company is getting ready for the December opening of the Canadian edibles market. The cannabis company Tweed is working on a special kind of infused ginger ale that will be sold in tall aluminum cans, ranging in THC strength from 2 milligrams to 10. The company is also working on infused chocolates that will hit the market at the same time. This is a good one to open up, in particular for the myriad of accompanying embedded videos showing some of the behind-the-scenes production work that goes into making infused drinks. There's a lot of potential here, so definitely a storyline you want to stay well on top of. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Curaleaf, and to our awesome Patreon listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the Patreon listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.